On today's podcast, how to look at her face, how the universe thrived by not existing, guessing about women, letting monkeys off the hook, how monarchies work, and lots more.
Monkey nuts! That's what they call them! Monkey nuts! Into your head! Monkey nuts! That's what they call them! Big steaming piles of monkey nuts! Into your head!
You join me at a tremendously exciting moment. It's Into Your Head, number 670. We've a lot to get on with today. Items that need to be attended to, issues that need to be addressed, topics. Oh, topics. We've got lots and lots of topics. We're positively booming to the seams with topics. We've got topics coming out of this mouth, this mouthful orifice, this mouthful hole, this hole in the front of my face. It's basically my main cliff face that I show to the world. If you ever go out and see me in the real world, you'll see my face. The first thing you'll notice about me is my face, because it's there. It's not that there's anything particularly standoutish about it. It's no more. In fact, it's only a small part of my surface. Only a small part of my surface area of my body is face. In fact, if you were being mathematical about it, he came up to me and said, "I'm going to look at this fella now, and I've only got so much peripheral vision, so I have to pick a certain area of him to look at." The chances that he'd pick out my face would be very small. It's just that you're naturally inclined to do that. It's impulse, some sort of human thing. We look at faces, we say, "Where's the face now? Let's have a look at the face." There's 80,000 square miles of surface area on that human being, but I'll pluck out his face from instinct. I'll know that bit up at the top, that's the face. The bit with the two holes, and the two little holes in the middle, and the big hole where the stuff comes out, and the holes. There's other holes as well, but we know, for some reason, we know quite easily that they're not the face. We look at the other hole, well, they're covered up usually anyway, but we say, "No, those other holes, I'm pretty sure to damn Christ as hell that they're not the face," even though I'm not a biologist. I haven't run any chemical tests on them. Am I hissing? I think I am. I'm hissing. Hold on a minute. Is that better? It probably isn't. It's probably no better. If I do this, why would that be better? That would be fucking ridiculous. If this was better than what I normally do, I would just do this all the time. I'd make entire podcasts of me just doing this. I hope you can hear that now, or it's just going to sound stupid. You'll hear me going, "Oh, will I do this?" And then just silence. You say, "Why would he fucking want me to do?" Anyway, suffice to say, hello, and welcome to the show. Two faces walk into a bar. One of the faces goes straight up to the bar counter and says, "Hello, can I have a pint of Guinness, please? And can I have it in my face?" And the man behind the bar says, "You seem to be entirely composed of face. Am I missing something here? Is there a particular part of you that's more facey than the rest of you? I'm afraid I can't tell. I'm not used to seeing just a face." Ironically, since we as human beings are designed to pluck out and identify a face as part of a human body, but if there was a human body that was composed entirely of a face, you wouldn't know where to look. We'd probably get all embarrassed. We'd say, "That's a big fucking face in my face. Where the hell do I look? Do I look at its eye? Do I look at..." I don't know. I don't want to be staring at a face in its eye directly. That's weird. In fact, now that you mention this, the prospect of just a face coming into a bar is a bit weird. Although it's my job as a barman to make you feel welcome, so I should probably keep those thoughts to myself, which indeed I am. I'm not saying this out loud. I'm a fictional barman in the store. Anyway, suffice to say, the face says, "Can I have a pint of Guinness in my face, please?" And I think we covered that already. And the man behind the bar says something, questions it in some way, and the face says, "Don't you worry your pretty little head about what's my face and what isn't my face. Just a pint of Guinness, please. please. When I said I want to hit my face, that was just an expression. And the barman says, I know it was just an expression, but what was it expressing? That's what worries me. If you say something is just an expression, then that leads me to wonder, what the freaking hell are you expressing? Are you expressing lust or anger or worship or hatred or love or pro-anti-disestablishmentarianism tendencies? I don't know. So this isn't fucking Speaker's Corner in Hyde Park in London, you know. This is a bar. You come in here, you order a pint, and you shut your stupid ugly face. And the face says, that's a bit hurtful, if you don't mind me saying so. And the man behind the bar says, I don't mind you saying so. This is a pub. I'm just saying you should keep your thoughts to yourself, which I realise is a complete contradiction of what I just said. But I have a right to say that, and I will fight to the death for my right to say that to you, or to any other face that comes in here, or any other body part, or any other independent body part. If an arse came in right now, I'd treat it the exact same way as I treat you, and that's not a bad thing, incidentally, because I'd be perfectly polite to the arse, unless, of course, it was doing something indecent. An arse in itself, that's not doing anything in particular. That can't be helped. If you happen to be an arse, and so people are prejudiced, they think arses are indecent, there's nothing the arse can do about that. You're pretty much a racist if you say that. It's just if the arse chooses to do something vulgar, for example, I don't know, I suppose anything. But no, if the arse is just talking like you are, like you, the face that's in front of my bar now, then no, you've no reason to be prejudiced against the arse, no more than I'm prejudiced against you, the face. In fact, I'm probably positively prejudiced towards you, which is a bit unfair because you don't have an arse, so I'm probably more likely to treat you favourably than I would an arse. But as it happens, I don't. So what does that say? It probably says I'm a thinking human being, which I suppose is good, because this is a bar. This is a social bar, a barular service area. Anyway, pint of Guinness, is it? And the face says, yes, please. Pint of your finest Guinness, please. Can I have a small pint of Guinness for my friend here, that fellow over there, the mouth? And the barman says, oh Christ, what the freaking, how is a mouth, how mouth is just a hole, how can a mouth be independent and be, I presume you're saying that this is just a mouth on its own, it's not your mouth. And the face says, exactly, my friend here, he's just a mouth. And the barman says, well, I can't see him. And the mouth says, the face says, oh, well, of course you can't. It's just a mouth. It's just a hole. A mouth is just the area that's surrounded by flesh. It's not in itself, and it's like a black hole. A mouth is just nothing. It's like whatever's outside the universe, that's like the mouth. But it's what surrounds the mouth that defines it. For example, I could say this area that I'm sitting in here, this is a room, but it's only a room because of the walls that surround it. The room itself is just empty space, but it's still a room. You don't go around denying that the room exists, or at least I hope you don't. If you do, then we're going to be here quite some time, I can tell you. Anyway, I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking, Christ, we're having talking arses now. Is that where we're going now with this? We've had 2 years of monkey nut stories, now he's got just an arse in the bar. Well, no, there was no mention of any arse. The barman discussed the hypothetical arse, but there was no arse there in the bar. There was a face and there was a mouth. There was no arse. You're putting real arses where only hypothetical arses within a hypothetical story exist. You're filling in the blanks, basically. It's just like they did with the mouth. The mouth isn't there at all. It's just, as we established, an empty space. You're doing the same with the arse. You're thinking, if I say arse about another couple of times now, I may have to stop and end this, because it's getting a bit much. This stuff goes up on the electro internet world. network. Hello, incidentally, to anybody who's listening on the internet. We're being broadcast today on the internet, or we will be when I've uploaded this. I'm going to upload this to the internet and put it on the website, and people can just go there and go, hello, oh, this is a thing. I press play, and then you hear me going, you join me at a tremendously exciting moment. It's Into Your Head, number 670. We've a lot to get on with today. Items that need to be attended to, issues that need to be addressed, topics. Oh, topics. We've got lots and lots of topics. We're positively booming to the seams with topics. We've got topics coming out of this coffee that's going cold. This quadruple espresso with a bit of milk in it and a bit of sweetener. Tesco sweetener. Cheap old crap that you put in, and basically sweet. It's a sweetener. It's like the sweetener of life. It's like it makes everything a bit better. It makes everything a bit more tolerable, because you can't be pouring raw coffee down your gullet without sweetening it in some way. Christ, no. God forbid you taste the real taste of anything in this world. No, you have to put electronic chemical sweeteners into everything. I'd even make the sweetener look like sugar now. You can put a spoon into and take out a whole spoonful of sweetener, just like you would with sugar. And you stir it into your coffee and you think, oh, that's fantastic. Maybe next time I'll just take the jar of sweetener and drink that directly. Put a bit of water in it. Would that make it go hard? It probably would. It can't be just, I don't know if it works the same with sweeteners, but if you have a bag of sugar and you pour some water into it, it just hardens. But if you pour a spoonful full of sugar into a cup of water, then it just melts in. But makes no sense to me as a physics major, even though I'm not a physics major. We don't have the term major in universities over here. You pick what you're going to study and you study it. None of this, I majored in maths and I minored in music. No, none of that crap. You pick what you're going to do and you do it properly. You don't have I'm going to have a little spare subject here on the side, just in case the maths industry falls asunder before I finish my university career. No, we'll have none of that crap. None of that crappular bollocks. Anyway. Once upon a time, where's my bongos? Oh, there they are. Right there where I put them, exactly where I put them, lined up on the corner of the desk within easy reach. Here we go. Once upon a time. I wonder could I draw a smiley face on these bongos and make a new version of my webcomic Matchstick Cats based on photographs of the white round surface of the tops of these. I probably could, but that would be vandalism, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that to my bongos. Maybe I'll do it to my harmonica, although I'm not sure quite how, because it's just a metal thing that's mostly comprised of holes. How do you vandalise a hole? There's a question for you. There's a philosophical question for all you philosophers out there. How do you vandalise a hole? How do you vandalise nothing? Maybe that's the genius of the universe. Before the universe existed, there was nothing, and nobody could destroy it or vandalise it in any way, and that's why it survived. The nothingness survived and prospered and bloomed and turned into the universe that we know and love today. The university of everything. The universality of everything, as they call it. That's why these people at universities think they're great, because they think they're named after the universe. No, you're not named after the universe. And when you get up and do your masters, incidentally, you'll realise there's more than one universe anyway, so you're not special. There's billions of parallel and perpendicular universes of all shapes and sizes and dimensions. They're spread out, although we don't know where half half of these universes are. There could be a universe hiding under your right leg now. You wouldn't know about it. It could be scratching away at you like a cat that rubs against your ankle while you're washing up the dishes, and you barely notice, because it happens all the time. Although if you're a proper cat person, you will notice. I'm a proper cat person. I'm not a cat. Well, I'm a cat person. I'm not a pheasant plucker. I'm a pheasant plucker son. I'm only keeping cats until the cat keeper comes. Although I'm not. No, I'm keeping them permanently. But you get the general idea. Anyway, on with the show.
Into your head.
Do you like this program? Well, it's about time you proved it. Search for Into Your Head in iTunes, leave a 5-star rating, and write a nice review under it. Do it today. It's been 6 years, you know. I'll be checking. I eat podcast listeners for breakfast, you know. Breakfast. Anyway, review the podcast in iTunes. It's important. Hash browns and toast, please.
Remember, we value the opinions of you, the humble and ignorant listener. Email studio@intoyourhead.com.
Support the podcastual arts at no cost to you. Just click through the Amazon link at intoyourhead.com whenever you go shopping for anything, even if you use Amazon UK or Canada. We'll take your weird foreign money here. We're not proud. Just visit intoyourhead.com and click on the appropriate Amazon banner.
Into your head. Into your head. Into your head. Into your head. Into your head.
Monkey nuts, that's what they call them. They call them big steaming, shit-eating, piss-piling, monkey-catching, monkey-releasing, because we're not cruel here. When we catch a monkey, we let it go, we let her off the hook. In fact, we don't even use a hook. You can't be hooking monkeys. Oh no, monkeys are pretty much human beings that have been shrunk down and had parts of their brains removed, so they're just a bit simpler than us. So you need to treat them as if they're little pretend human beings, and I don't mean by that treat them like they're some sort of dummy that you got from some filthy online sex shop, the type that some podcasts use as sponsors. No, treat it like a proper real human being, even though it's not. A monkey isn't a human being. A human being is a human being. If we needed someone to be a human being, we'd find one of the 7 billion human beings on the planet and give them a go at it first. You only get the monkeys to step in and be human beings when the 7 billion. It's like with the Queen of England. If she died today, they will go to the next in line, and then the next in line, and then the next in line. They go through the 7 billion humans until they were all dead. And it's only when you get to number 7,000,001 that you start onto other species. Then you might have a monkey being the queen or king, as appropriate. You can have kings and queens of all sexes and shapes and sizes in this world. Well, at least in certain monarchies, depending. I suppose there's probably some monarchies where you can't have a woman as the queen. You can only have men as queens and kings. In fact, they call them kings. Countries that are as backwards as that wouldn't refer to a king as the queen. They say, no, this is the goddamn king. And if you don't have children, if you don't have any male children, then you're just going to have to find someone else who's related to you, and we'll go down the tree of life. We'll go down through the 7 billion, and every second one we'll skip because they're women, and then so we'll probably get through the 7 billion quite quickly. So there's a good chance that we'll have to resort to having a monkey. That's the problem when you limit yourself like that. If you just limit yourself to male kings, you've cut down your possible successors by 3.5 billion or whatever it is. How many women are there in the world? There's probably a good few by now. There must be, I'd say, around half. I'm guessing around half, but that's not an informed guess. That's why it's a guess. If it was an informed guess, it wouldn't be a guess. It would be an educated assessment and an opinion based on whatever you call it. I don't know. Whatever you call it. You call it what you like, and I'll call it what I like, and hopefully we'll both understand each other, even if we're using different words. As I've said many times before, if we're using different words and we don't match them up, then that's not going to work. Language doesn't work like that. A language is not a sandwich. A language is a very complex thing, and you need to, let's not get bogged down in that again. I'm always going on about language. It's getting old. It's getting as old as the monkey nuts and the can't bar stories. No. At least the arses thing, at least that was original. That was new. You weren't expecting me to spend 10 minutes talking about arses, were you? So at least you can say I'm not as unpredictable as I'm not. No, I'm not predictable all the time. Older listeners to the show, or listeners who've been listening for some time, will remember I used to spend a lot of time in the early days going, It began to become a little silly after a while. I'm happy to admit that now, but I've learned from it. I don't go as much as I used to. I've learned how to speak in a fluent manner. I've mastered the language that I've been trained in since an early age. I've been learning English since the age of about 2, I think. We started over here. They teach you Irish from the age of 5 as well, but you forget all about that. You learn a few words. You learn Cain Fog or Will on Gorilla, Igdausa Lesh on Cash Moshi, the Holy on Milcadagum, Dulgadi on Lecherus. But as you can see from that, there's no point in having all these things if no one you didn't understand the word of it. Well, maybe Gamma Goblin, the Cork blogger who listens to this podcast, probably understood that. Well, why would he need to? There's no point in just having something that just a Cork blogger understands. Why would you need to communicate with a Cork blogger through some dead language on a podcast that's mostly listened to by foreigners? Why would you? Well, I'm sure there's probably some reason. I just don't have one at the moment. But I suppose if I ever do find myself having a reason to do that, then I've already got the means to fulfill the need. So I suppose that's one more contingency taken care of. So thank you very much indeed for that, Gamma Goblin. Once upon a time, there was a sentence, an unfinished sentence, a bit like one of those sentences that you serve if you're sentenced to 150 years for murdering 85 people. There's a good chance that you'll never be able to finish that. You'll have taken on more than you can chew. That's what you done there. There's such a thing as overdoing it. If you murder so many people and you live in a country that doesn't have the death sentence and you're sentenced to several 100 years in jail, you're not going to be able to serve that. You're just showing off there, going, I'm going to murder so many people that I get a sentence that I can't manage. I'm just going to drop dead 50 years into it. The irony of it doesn't escape me, because there isn't any. There's no irony at all. Get that into your thick skull, Alanis Morissette. Alana, if that's your real name. Alanis Morissette with 3 O's and 4 S's and a couple of T's. It's the most difficult fucking word. I've just mentioned Alanis Morissette a few times on the show in the past, and I've had to put her name into the show description, and every bit of software that I open up and type it into gives me a different spell check result. It says, oh no, that's not how you spell Alanis Morissette, and it'll correct you, and then you'll open up on another website that's run from a different country, and they'll say, no, over here we use 4 T's and a couple of S's, and then you open it up in WordPress UK or something, and it'll say, no, over here we just call her a bitch. But no, that's Meredith Brooks, isn't it? That's a different one. That's your one who went, I'm a bitch, I'm a cunt, I'm a thief, I'm a lover, I'm a sinner and a saint. I do not feel amazed, I'm a shish, She's like the lowbrow version of Alanis Morissette. Came out a couple of years after, and she just screamed her head off. I went, look at me, I'm a cunt. If you don't know the song I'm referring to, you're probably wondering what the freaking hell all that is about. It's about a song by Meredith Brooks that went, I'm a bitch, I'm a cunt, I'm a thief, I'm a lover, I'm a sinner, I'm a saint. I do not feel well, you should feel ashamed, you stupid bitch. You're not Alanis Morissette, and even if you were, that doesn't make you any better, because I've spent the last 5 minutes criticising Alanis Morissette. So whether you're Alanis Morissette or not, I tell you, you're no Star Trek: The Next Generation. You're no Pippi the cat. You're no Bowsy the first. You may be the latest cat on the block, but you're no replacement for my earliest cats. You can't just replace a cat like that, just as you can't replace Alanis Morissette, no matter how much of a bitch she may or may not be. No, you can't be doing that. You get bogged down in replacing people with other people, and you'll never remember who you were trying to criticise in the first place, so you get all confused. Anyway, good morning.
IntoYourHead.com.
Sid, Bowsy. Sid. Good cat.